Hello everyone, welcome to IP Study video lectures. Today we will discuss grade 7 science chapter Earth, Moon and the Sun. In this chapter we will cover the topics rotation of the Earth, revolution of the Earth, eclipses. Have you ever watched the sunrise and sunset? What do you notice during these events? During the sunrise, sun is coming up over the horizon, and during the sunset, it is going down when you observe it at the horizon. So here we can say these are changing their positions, and during the day as well, sun changes its position in the sky. How this is happening? How we are able to observe that? Is sun moving or we are moving in reference of the sun? Let's find out. Rotation of the Earth. When we say that objects like the planets are moving around the sun, they are performing two types of motions. One which is on the axis and second which is around the sun. The motion of the Earth on its axis is called the rotation. So what is axis? Axis is an imaginary line passing through the Earth, which is also passing through the center of the Earth. So in each case, the object moves in a circular path around a fixed central point. And this kind of movement is known as rotation. It happens around an axis, which is an imaginary line that runs through the object and acts as the center of its spinning motion. It's like a top. If you observe a spinning top, the top spins around its axis, which you can see in form of a iron nail passing through the top. To observe the rotation, you can conduct a simple activity here. Climb onto a merry-go-round and sit facing outward the merry-go-round and ask your friend to slowly spin the merry-go-round in anti-clockwise direction. So when it starts moving, you need to set your gaze at one object in the surrounding and observe. When you are moving along the merry-go-round, does that object also moves or it appears to move? Because when you are moving in the merry-go-round, you will notice after every spin, once you will come in front of that object that you started observing in the beginning. So it appears if you are going anti-clockwise, the object is moving clockwise. So here we can say the object appears to move, yet it is not moving actually because it is fixed at the point. For example, if you start observing a pole, so does the pole moves? It changes its position during this activity? No, it is fixed at one point. Only you are changing your position. You are moving. And because of your movement, that appears to move because you are repeating a periodic movement. You are coming to that point again. So here we can say rotation is the movement of an object around its imaginary axis, and it is a periodic motion because it is repeating itself. In this activity, you might observe that the merry-go-round around a fixed point is in the center and things around it appears moving because of your movement. So Earth axis is an imaginary line passing through the north and south poles, and the movement around the axis, it is completed in 24 hours by the Earth. So here we can say the Earth is taking 24 hours to complete one rotation. This rotation of the Earth on its axis results in day and night formation. That's why we see the day and the night. We experience day and night because when the Earth is moving on its axis, one part of the earth is facing the sun and the other part is on the other side, which is not receiving any light. So this is in the dark. So the part which is facing towards the sun, it is having day, it is experiencing day, and the part which is away from the sun, which is on the other side and not receiving any sunlight, that is experiencing night. So day and night formation, if you observe here, this part of the earth during the rotation is towards the sun and it is getting the sunlight to illuminate that atmosphere and that part of the earth. So it is experiencing the day, and the other part which is on the other side and not experiencing any sunlight, it is experiencing night. You can conduct this simple activity to observe formation of the day and night. Here you need a globe, which is a model of earth, and you need a flashlight. When you focus the light on the globe and you spin the globe, like you need to revolve it. So what will happen? It will be moving, and before starting this, you just need to make a mark on this. So here what you can do, take one sticker or tape and paste it at one point at the globe. So when you are revolving it and focusing the light, you will see for a certain time that part which is having the sticker or mark is towards the flashlight. It is receiving the light. So at that time we can say this part of the globe is experiencing the day and the other part is experiencing the night. When that sticker comes on the other side where there is no light, so that part will be experiencing the night and the other part will be facing the flashlight showing the day. Next is, once the sun sets and night falls, the stars become visible because stars are luminous objects. We see them glowing there or blinking there. We also observe the phases of moon during the night time. And how we are able to see that? Because the moon is reflecting the light to us. Which light? The sunlight. You already have studied that the star appears moving. Let us now understand how the rotation of the earth changes the position of the stars in the night sky. For that, we can conduct a simple activity. Here, you need to observe a constellation in the night sky and find out a reference point which is fixed, which is not changing the position. For that, we can observe pole star or Dhruv Tara. We know that pole star is visible in the north direction in the sky, night sky. So here we are observing a constellation which is easily visible there, that is Big Dipper or Saptarishi Mandal. So here you will notice a spoon shaped constellation is visible in the night sky and you need to mark the reference point which is the pole star. If you cannot see the pole star, you can find any fixed pole or a tall tree as a reference point and then find out or observe the constellation in the night sky. Here what we are doing, we are observing it at different time. 5 am, 3 am, 1 am, 11, 9 and 7 am. When you observe it at different times, you will see in reference to the fixed position like a tall tree, pole or pole star, the constellation is changing its position and it is moving around it. So in this activity, due to the rotation, the star appears to move across the sky from east to the west direction and the pole star appears fixed in the night sky because the Earth's axis of rotation points nearly in the same direction, in the direction of the North Pole. Other stars like the Big Dipper appears to move in the circular path or around the pole star, or we can say around the fixed position. Changes in the sky due to the other type of movement of the earth. What is that? Revolution of the earth. You have already studied in the previous grades that all planets move around the sun in their fixed path, and that fixed path is called the orbit. And most of the orbits here that we are observing here, that orbits are not actually circular shape. These are not actual circles, these are elliptical shapes. So, the shape of any orbit is oval or ellipse. Imagine the sun being a bit to its one side of the center of this oval shaped orbit. So, we are saying that Earth is revolving in a elliptical shaped orbit where the sun is not exactly in the center of this orbit. It is towards one side of the ellipse. So, here we can see when the Earth is moving around the sun in its orbit, sometimes it is closer to the sun when it is moving from this point to this, and sometimes it is farther from the sun when it goes from here to here, because of the position of the sun in the orbit, because it is not exactly in the center. Changes in the night view from the Earth. Each evening the sun appears to set in which direction? The west direction, and slowly the night sky becomes visible, filled with stars. We start observing the other illuminating objects in the night sky like the stars. This daily change from day to night happens because of the rotation that we already have discussed. But if you have ever watched the stars carefully over several months, you might notice that sometimes even more interesting things like the star you see in the night sky are not always the same. You see different patterns in the night sky. This happens due to the revolution of Earth around the sun, because we are changing our position in the orbit. Therefore, the Earth moves along its path throughout the year. The direction in which we face the night sky changes. How? If we are at this position, so we are experiencing different view of the night sky. We are observing different stars in the sky, and when we come to this position, other position, we are facing the other part of the space or the sky, and we are observing different stars here. How can we understand this? Through this activity, choose a constellation such as Orion that you have learned in the previous grades. Look it at a fixed time in the night, for example at 8 p.m. and observe its position in the night sky. Then look again on the same date of the next month and same time. So you will notice this time the position of the constellation is now changed. For that purpose, you can take some pictures as well. You will notice that the position of the constellation has either shifted or it might even be replaced by a different constellation over the time period. So, why this is happening? Because our position means the position of the Earth is changing in its orbit. So, the revolution not only changes night sky but also affects season. How? Let's understand that. As we discussed here, that sometimes the Earth is closer to the sun, having shorter distance in its orbit, and sometimes it is having farther distance, means more distance. So, in this region we are experiencing summer, and in this region we are experiencing winter. Why? Because the sunlight that we are getting is affecting the weather conditions here. During the revolution of Earth around the sun, it remains tilted because it is tilted on its axis like this. And this is because it is always tilted there on the axis. Since the Earth remains tilted throughout the year, therefore different parts of the Earth receives different amount of sunlight at different times. As a result, there are different seasons in the different parts of the Earth. In June, the north hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. here. North hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, so it is receiving more sunlight. Also, the northern hemisphere gets sunlight for more than 12 hours, making the days longer and warmer. This is why it is summer in the northern hemisphere during the June. And on the other pole, other hemisphere, what we are seeing that this part is receiving less light and for shorter time because it is rotating also at the same time. So, this part will have winters. The days are shorter and have less sunlight at this part in the southern part. As a result, northern hemisphere experiences winter during this time, and so the tilt of the Earth's axis and its spherical shape together cause the different season that we experience throughout the year. The duration of sunlight received by each part of the Earth varies. It is not same. Thus, the duration of the Earth and the night also vary from place to place. It depends on for how long hours this part is receiving the sunlight. For example, the equator, the length of the day and night remains almost equal, means 12 hours night and 12 hours day. This is because the equator always receives nearly direct sunlight. If you notice the position, the equator is here, and even though the Earth is tilted, it is receiving almost equal amount of sunlight and for equal hours. So, here we can say the day and nights are almost equal. As a result, the change in season is not very noticeable in places close to the equator. For example, the southern state of India, which lie near to the equator, do not experience extreme seasonal differences like the northern part. Like in the northern part of the India, we experience summers and then extremely different environment or different weather conditions during the winters. But if you go to the southern parts, southern states, you do not experience the winters like the northern parts of the India. So, in these regions, the weather mostly stay warm and humid throughout the year because it is receiving more sunlight. Some people wrongly believe that the season occurs because the earth is closer to the sun in summer and farther in winter. It is important to address a common misconception about the seasons. Many people incorrectly believe that the seasons occur because the earth is closer to the sun in summers and farther away in winters. In reality, the distance between the sun changes only slightly throughout the year, approximately 3% if we compare the distance which is the closest and which is the farthest from the sun. Seasons are primarily caused by the tilt of the axis, which is 23.5 degree, which means the earth is tilted 23.5 degree with its axis. So, what is happening here? Due to this tilt, different parts of earth receive different amount of sunlight throughout the year, which results in different seasonal patterns. If we observe it here, near the equator, the sun is mostly direct and it is giving more direct sunlight, and if we go towards the poles, the sunlight is forming the low angle and the incoming sunlight is comparatively less. So, here we can see the different parts, north pole, the equator and the south pole are receiving different amount of the sunlight and for different time period, for different hours. What are eclipses? We already have studied this in the previous grade, that there is a phenomena when sun, moon and the earth comes in a straight line. They align in a straight line and the sunlight is blocked by the moon or the moon is blocked by the sun. We cannot see the sun for one event and when we cannot see the moon on the other event. This kind of formations results into eclipses. let's study about them. So, one of the type of eclipse is solar eclipse and the other one is the lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse is observed when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. We know that the sun is quite big in size, so how it is possible that the sun is blocked by another heavenly object, moon, which is smaller than the sun. So here the distance between the earth and the sun plays an important role here. So to analyze this phenomena, you can ask your friend to stand about 5 meters away from you and face towards you. Now imagine that the head of your friend is representing the sun. Now close your eyes and stretch your arm fully towards your friend. Hold your thumb up in the upside position like this and try to cover the head or the view of the head of your friend with your thumb. So as your friend is standing away from you and you are placing your thumb between the head of your friend and your eye, you will also notice that you cannot see the head of your friend because your gaze is now fixed at the thumb. Means the thumb is coming in between you and your friend. That's how moon is behaving during the eclipse. So in this activity, you have noticed that thumb was able to cover the head. Similarly, the moon is able to block the sun, and this causes the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is natural event that occurs when the moon comes between the earth and the sun and it blocks the sunlight completely. As a result, the sun appears partially or completely hidden for a short time during the day. It happens for a very short time. The moon revolves around the earth and the earth revolves around the sun. Occasionally, the sun, moon and the earth line up in a straight line, and when the moon is exactly in the middle, it is casting its shadow on the earth. And this happens during the solar eclipse, or we can say the solar eclipse takes place when this is happening. This can only happen during a new moon when the moon is positioned between the earth and the sun. There are three main types of solar eclipse. In a total solar eclipse, the moon completely blocks the sunlight. It comes exactly in the center. During a total solar eclipse, it becomes dark in the daytime for a short while because sunlight is completely blocked by the moon. As the earth rotates, the moon moves along its orbits and the shadow of the moon shifts across the earth's surface. This is why a total solar eclipse lasts for only a few minutes, because moon is also moving around the earth in its orbit during this event. During a partial solar eclipse, the moon covers only a part of the sun. It is not completely blocking the sunlight and the sun looks like a crescent shape. This can happen when the moon shadow does not create a total eclipse wherever on earth. It is not blocking complete sunlight. It is only blocking the part of the sun. And in an angular solar eclipse, this is the third type of solar eclipse, the moon passes directly in front of the sun but appears smaller than the sun's disk. Means the position of the moon is between the sun and the earth, but it is not blocking the disk of the sun, the circular shape of the sun properly. This occurs when the moon is farther from the earth in its elliptical orbit, so a bright ring of the sun remains visible. Okay, like this. So here we see that a ring-shaped sun appears in the sky. There are certain precautions that we need to consider while observing any solar eclipse. Never look directly at the sun during a solar eclipse because such activities can damage your vision or your eyes. So if you want to observe a solar eclipse, what you need to do? Use eclipse glasses or special solar filters. You can also project the sun's image onto a surface using a pinhole camera. We have studied this in the previous chapter, that we can use a pinhole camera to produce the image of distant object, and the spaces between the leaves in a dense tree acts as a pinhole camera to produce the image of the sun on the floor. So we can use the same effect here to produce the images of the sun during a solar eclipse. In some places such as planetaria and astronomy clubs, events are conducted to view eclipse. Practically, in such events is the best way to observe a solar eclipse, as it offers eye protection as well as gives scientific explanation of the event or the phenomena. So, in such kind of places, you are guided how to observe a solar eclipse with some special instruments. Next is the lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse occurs when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. And because of this, the earth casts its shadow on the moon by blocking the sunlight. This natural event can only happen during a full moon, when the sun, earth and moon are lined up in a straight line. Normally during a full moon, sunlight shines directly on the moon, making it fully visible, means we see the complete circular moon in the night sky. But sometimes when earth moves directly between the sun and the moon, the sunlight is blocked by the earth and it casts its shadow on the surface of the moon, resulting in the lunar eclipse. Here we can see this. Sun, moon and earth are in one line, and here we can see the light rays from the sun are reaching the earth and completely blocked by the earth, and these are not reaching the moon. So here it is completely dark. In this case, we are not able to see the moon here. During a total lunar eclipse, the entire moon enters the darkest part of the earth shadow. It is hidden inside the shadow of the earth. Sometimes it appears reddish in color due to the scattering of sunlight through the earth's atmosphere, which is often called the blood moon. When only a part of the moon enters the shadow, means the shadow of the earth is casted by blocking the sunlight and the moon is revolving around the earth, and when it is coming under that shadow, we are experiencing partial lunar eclipse. So here we can see different types of lunar eclipse as well. In the partial eclipse, we are observing this kind of moon, and during the total eclipse, we are observing this kind of moon. So in this chapter, we studied different types of movement of earth, which causes day and night and changes of the seasons. Because of the movement of earth in its orbit and the movement of moon in its orbit, we experience the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. When all three objects are lining up in a straight line and the moon comes in between the earth and the sun, we experience the solar eclipse. And when we are experiencing that the earth is coming in between the sun and the moon and casting its shadow over the moon, we experience the lunar eclipse. That's it for the day. See you with the next topic. Thank you.